What? I want to eat toes, I think is what I heard.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So hey everybody, this is Andy Kerr with Story and a Point. And I feel like I always start these videos with, Jen and I were on vacation, but one time, Jen and I were on vacation and we were driving up the coast to Maine. And all of our friends told us, if you go to Maine, you gotta get the lobster. You gotta get the lobster. You gotta get the lobster. Lobster in Maine is like lobster nowhere else because it's cold water lobster. And cold water lobster apparently is way better than lobster of any other colored
Color?
any other color water. Cold water lobster apparently is better than lobster from any other temperature water. If it's warm or tepid or super hot, I don't know. It's better if it's cold. And they said, but you can't just get it from a restaurant. No, that's not how you do it. You have to find a shack on the side of the road, and that is where you get the cold water lobster. So there we were, driving up the coast. We enter Maine, and there's the shack. It's a shack, perfect, but not any shack. It was like, a little bit on an angle. It was like, this is the best shack ever. So we go in, and there was where we encountered the lobster lady. The lobster lady was there. She was very nice and ready to take our order for lobster. And I said, we would like 2 lobsters, please. And she wrote that down and she went in the back and disappeared. And a little while later, she came back out. And when she came back out, she's crying. Literally tears coming out of her eyeballs, down her face. And she's crying. I'm like, ma'am, what's the matter? She said, well, every time I take the lobsters and I put them in the pot, I get really sad. And it makes me cry. And I looked at her and I said, my goodness, you may be in the wrong line of work because I'm sure that you do that on a fairly regular basis. I mean, how many times do you put lobsters in a pot in a day if that's all you do is run a lobster shack? I'm sure a lot. And so literally crying every day. I said, how do you do this? How do you continue? She's like, well, I need the money. I'm like, okay, there's lots of other things out there. And maybe this is the point, you know? I don't know what job you're in. I don't know what you do for a living. I mean, maybe the job that you're in currently is literally making you cry on a daily basis. And I half say that jokingly, but half say that seriously. I know many people going to work on a daily basis and hating it. I mean, do you hate what you do for a living but feel trapped because that's how you've been making the money that you need to feed your family and pay your rent? But I assure you that the best you that can possibly exist is you doing the thing that you were made to do. And I truly believe that sometimes we've got to do stuff that we don't like to get to the place where we can do the thing that we were made to do. I believe there could be a strategy there, but maybe it's just making the decision to start walking out of that and get to the thing that you were made to do. So what are you made to do? What are you passionate about? What just lights a fire in you that makes you want to work at that thing forever? I mean, what is the thing that even if you didn't get paid, you would do all day long? I mean, some of us have those moments where it feels like time disappears and that you could do whatever task that was. My prayer is that you find that thing, that you at least start looking for it. Because as Seth Godin says, life is too short to be mediocre. You don't want to just live a life of doing okay when you could be doing something that you love doing, that you make money doing, and that brings you a ton of joy. What is that thing? I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just boiling lobsters all day long. Why aren't you making a decision to do that today, or at least start heading that direction? So what decision do you need to make today to take one step in that direction? What is that decision? Make that decision today. This is Andy Kerr with Story and a Point. Have a great day. I love you.